You've been to Florida before, yeah?
Not on purpose.
Oh, so you have been?
Yeah.
Scratched.
Mic check.
Hangout Air is on. We're ready to go.
I got nothing to say, really.
I figured you didn't.
You took the air right out of the... Oh, you see? That's what I'm saying.
We blew our wad way too early before the podcast even started.
You see? Didn't I tell you that he was going to do something like that and ruin the expectation of everything?
That's probably record time for the mentioning of a wad.
Yeah.
Well, got to get that out of the way.
Dude.
Keith fits right in.
Got to get that one out of the chamber, so to speak.
The easy one.
Do you want to know, Keith? Do you want to know Bryan Bales' his next album? It's coming out. You want to know the title of it?
Do I?
It's a rocker. No, I'm asking you if you don't want to. Do you want to know it?
I might want to be surprised when it drops, but I guess you're going to tell me probably because
it's called Under Heavy Load, and it's a rocker. It's a rocker. For those of you, I don't want to go in that direction. I was actually asking you, very cool, and then Doc stopped us from talking.
He doesn't like it when other people have fun.
I just wanted you guys to talk about it on the podcast. So Eloy, ask Keith what he's been up to.
No, I don't want to know now. I don't want to know. I wanted to know before.
Why?
Because you make it like it has to be natural. It has to be when people connect and they start talking. It has to be a natural flow. It can't be forced.
Let's pretend this is speed dating. Switch partners. Hey Keith, what have you been up to?
Hey Bells, what's up? I've been working in a van, building it out for my friends to live in.
You stole my whole conversation, Bales.
Attaboy, Bales, step up.
That actually was the whole conversation. That was as far as we got last time before Doc scolded us.
I didn't scold anyone.
So you're building a van down by the river?
Yeah, I want to do the photo shoot for the beauty shots for the end of the video down by the river, and I think I'm going to try to hunt down some vintage a plaid jacket and a long green tie, just to complete the look.
Got to get motivated.
Yeah, get back on the right track.
Yeah, you've been using your paper for rolling doobies. That's all I remember him screaming at David Spade's face.
Good, so good. If anybody doesn't get that reference, just turn this off because you're worthless.
Worthless, he says. Keith, we usually don't insult the people that wander into our tent because it's a small number of people. Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody. I didn't mean to call you worthless. I just meant to severely underestimate your skills as a human being.
You should check that out. And I'm the one that scolds people, he says.
Well, this is scold-worthy. If you haven't seen the Chris Farley skit down by the river,
This is true. You shouldn't be in our tent if that's the case.
You guys aren't really helping the cause by attacking and ostracizing our listeners. Sorry, Marsh.
It's just Marsh.
Well, Sarah
and Sarah and hey and Julian.
There's no way Sarah hasn't seen that.
Jeremy Pedigan, the metal penguin.
Yeah, Joe Rogan. Sorry about that, Joe.
Jeez, shooting high.
It's fine. He's on DMT right now. He's got nothing to...
Oh yeah.
He's not going to remember any of this.
So wait a second. So you're building up a van so that it's like a mobile slash.
Yep, he's going to live in it because rent is stupid, and if you don't have to pay it, why would you? So yeah, he's going to travel around. He does creative workshops, and he wants to live in a van. And I've wanted to build a tiny house for a while, but I've had no budget and no reason to do it. So he asked if I wanted to take charge on a project, and I said, sure, as long as you're paying me lots of money.
I'll just say this. It's tempting because I look at a lot of YouTube videos on that subject. It's funny. We probably all do. And it's super cool, and you see these people. But there's something to be said about a huge amount, or at least a nominal, just a comfortable amount of space to throw your crap.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm a hoarder. I could never actually do it. But, just entertaining the fantasy for a little while is fun. But This is great because I get to do it vicariously through him. What I realized, though, is that most people who do this, like who go into van life for the first time, they take the time and they build out this thing that looks like a beautiful cabin on the inside and everything's permanently affixed to the walls and stuff.
Yeah.
And then like 2 months in, they're like, this is a terrible layout. We can't actually live like this. We got bikes and we like to ride bikes now, and there's no room for our bikes. And then they have to tear everything out and do it again. So I'm going with a French cleat system down the entire length of the van that's going to be rearrangeable. So you can take the countertops and you can take the bed and you can put it anywhere you want.
How about the toilet on a French cleat system?
Well, I don't know what he's going to do. I'm not handling the plumbing or the electric.
Always with the toilet.
I mean, it's a van. The world is your toilet. Just open up the back door and let it fly.
Oh, it's not going to have an indoor.
I'm not even going to ask. I think he's got like something involving a bag of kitty litter and I don't know, whatever.
Like
a 7-Eleven, a large gulp.
Slurpee cups, you know.
Well, because I've seen. I'm sorry, Bales. Go ahead. I see that you're done.
I was gonna say it's probably like a composting bucket toilet or something.
Yeah, I mean, the type of people that want to live in a van these days are very different from the type of people that had to live in a van in like the 70s.
Yeah.
So you know, it's more composting toilet, less Walmart parking lot.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, hey, but I did see one where this lady, I didn't think that they'd have a toilet, and it's a small freaking van, man. And it's got inside the closet, sure enough, you can crap, you can shower, in that little, and then it's just that she's able to do it, and it's it works. I like the idea, but at the same time, I'm like, damn, dude, but people do it, and they're quite, I guess, happy, or at least for the video, they're happy.
Yeah, I mean, if that's what they want, that's cool. I would imagine that if you live in a van, you probably don't shower that often anyway. So there goes the other half of your audience.
Well, all the van people are pissed.
Right now they're in their vans outside stealing Burger King Wi-Fi, just like shaking their fists.
Damn you, Keith.
Trying not to hit both the toilet and the kitchen sink.
By the way, if anybody is listening in that situation, that is so awesome right now. I would be so proud of myself if we had like one guy pirating internet to listen to the podcast at the BK. Eat one of them awful BK tacos.
What was the I forget what it was. There's some Hangout Maker podcast show thing like way back, like right when I was getting going. And it was my first involvement in one of these things, and I actually did it stealing the bar's Wi-Fi in my car, like right outside the bar with all my friends jumping around, shaking my car while I was trying to interview.
Oh, was that one of the Maker things? Was it? What's the one where it has like their graphics is like from human to like a crawling with Andy Berkey in it and Aragon?
It wasn't faking it. It was pre that, I think. I don't know.
Was it like a YouTube show?
Yeah, I guess.
Was it Maritime?
Yeah, it might have been Maritime. Yeah, because there's like 40 of us in that.
I'll tell you what, I used to do that way back in the day. That was a good time.
Yeah,
yeah, that was a wild group of people. I remember one time some like older, stauncher, like more serious woodworker type was like, "All you guys do in there is get drunk." I was like, "I know, isn't it fun?"
Yeah, I was literally at the bar. I would have done it from inside, but it was actually kind of wild for a Wednesday night.
So, since you're here, and I always mention it when I see, you bust open with a new poster, which I haven't seen you post in a while. I don't know if
that's because the algorithm is garbage now.
Oh, but do you post frequently?
To what? It depends.
To Facebook, let's say.
Yeah, I post it mostly to my business account now and then share it. But I posted something earlier today.
I don't freaking see anybody's anything.
Yeah, nobody does anymore. It's so worthless. They just like don't even get me started. 25,000 Instagram followers, and I get 100 likes on something I post. It's ridiculous.
Oh yeah, that Instagram, it's useless, and YouTube, it's all useless. Honestly,
YouTube's doing better for me now than anything else so far.
Really? How better is better?
I've gone up like 400% of subscribers in this year.
Holy smokes, dude!
I mean, not to say that. I mean, my subscribers were like 1,500 like last year. So
no, but it's just whatever. I think it's all a freaking hot mess after whatever crap that they pulled.
That's why I decided this year I'm just like, screw it. I'm just gonna make like whatever wacky crap I feel like making, and just see where it goes from there. And it's working out. So
Yeah, and score a grand prize spot on Instructables.
yeah, maybe sort of grand prize. I don't know. I keep getting first prize instead of grand prize, but
Didn't you hit grand prize recently or something?
I got first prize on the woodworking competition, which got me two. That's fine. I mean, first prize is pretty good too.
Oh yeah.
Still, I got the Arbitech stuff just got sent to me. It
Holy
took
dude,
like 2 months to get here, but
was that the last one? Like about a month or two ago?
yeah. That was the woodworking
You freaking
contest.
took that. I was hoping for that. I did I did a B.
Oh,
segmented.
We gotta hear about the goddamn bee again.
Here comes the bee story.
Dude,
Five
you
for a quarter, they'd say.
No, I did a whole B. I did the abdomen. I did the freaking thorax, the head,
the freaking thorax, man,
the legs, and did you ever see it?
No, I'm way too preoccupied with my own stuff.
Well, I did this thing with.
Wait, hold on. We have to give it up for the most honest answer in the history of Scratch.
Yeah.
I can't watch your YouTube videos. I'm busy making my own YouTube videos.
I try. I really do. There's so much out there, and that doesn't show you anything. It shows me the same 5 people all the time.
Well, my point is, I did this whole thing, and it was a very complex putting together thing with all sorts of elements. What did you do?
I want to hear more about the thorax.
Mine was this table here, the Flak Table 2.0 that's slat built, so anybody can make it. It's like I call it the impossible table now because it doesn't really actually meet up entirely. But
it looks nice though.
Yeah, the whole thing about the table is to make it so that it was a really complicated design and to make it simple enough for anybody to be able to build with just a couple of tools. So that took me, I mean, to be fair, I'm glad I got a prize because it took me like 2 years just to get that design down after the first iteration. So,
I mean, it's a pretty bad.
What I'm saying is I deserved it. Probably the guy who beat me didn't deserve it, but what are you going to do? I think the guy that won made a surfboard, which is, he made a wooden surfboard. Yeah, okay.
I still think if you look in there, it says Flak.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's how I took it at first. I was like, oh, it says Flak in there. And then you were like, no. I was like, wait, no, it still says Flak in there. I don't care what you say.
If you wanted to, it probably could very easily.
Yeah, no, somehow I filled in the gaps in my head at first. It was like some sort of like Anthrax Slayer font you had going on.
Keith, I just dropped a picture of the bee. If you have Facebook around so you can see it, so you can actually see what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Oh, I did see that. That was really cool. The epoxy wings, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Well, that got me nowhere.
No.
You know what the problem with his bee was, Keith?
Was it that Bobby Duke came out with something the same week that was
no?
very similar?
His bee just couldn't generate any buzz.
No,
I'll see myself out.
Yeah, you better.
Yeah, you're such a badass with that comment, cutting down your buddies.
That thing is cool, man.
I
did see that. I saw that. I think when you were posting it, when you were putting it together.
I was cutting you down.
Yeah, you said my bee didn't have buzz.
I said it couldn't create any buzz. It was like a bad dad
buzz.
joke. You should just don't take it personally.
No, I put a lot of work into that frickin' bee.
No one did I say you didn't?
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm a little bit like
You're very self-conscious about your bee.
No, I'm not self-conscious. I'm self-aware.
I think it was I think it was a killer bee.
I thought it was a killer bee too, and nothing. Nothing.
I guess somehow you bumbled it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thanks a lot. Jeez.
That's twice.
I forget what the other contest was, but it can't be that important.
Keith is here just picking up the spares, by the way. Just picking up the spares.
That's what I would do on most podcasts if they let me actually talk.
Well, let me ask you. Well, you're not going to get that chance here today, but let me ask you about your because I always ask you
more about my bee.
Let me ask you your painting and the your paintings. I'm still fascinated by that style of painting, and I think I know now a little bit more why, because so if you're not familiar with Keith's style of painting, there's a certain look to it because he's using a certain I don't even know, what would you describe it as, and then I'll tell you what it reminds me, what I figured it reminded me of as to why I like it.
Oh, the deranged pen and ink scratchings of a damaged person probably is what I would describe it as. Yeah. It's landscape, but it's filtered through a diseased brain.
Yeah.
and then put back on reclaimed wood.
It's like a preschooler with epilepsy.
Yeah, it's one of the few things that whenever I see a picture of it, I was like, yeah, one day I'd like to own one of those. Someday I'm gonna have a picture of something I own and some money, and I'm gonna hand you both, and I'm gonna be like, here, like this one.
There you go.
They're fun. They look fun.
They look cool. It's it's definitely a different take on something you could have a million pictures of.
I haven't done one in a while, that's for sure.
I do enjoy them.
Thanks. Well, I got to do more. I've been falling behind because I've been busy with the van and other projects.
Well, just
the van and not paying attention to Eloy's releases.
Yeah.
I mean, I did 5 hours in the van right before I got on here, so I'm still a little woozy.
Well, anyways, that art reminds me of sort of like opening credits to retro, like the graphics of retro movies and or retro shows, like things like, not exact, but there's a vibe of old spaghetti westerns, the intros, how the things are.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of the good, the bad, and the ugly vibe going with the the monochromatic or the chromatic
deviation or what.
Yeah. There's words that describe things, but I don't know what any of those are.
It's bad to the bone, and that's why I think that subconsciously, and I had figured it out after thinking about it, that's why I associate it with that. So yeah, I'd like to copy it, but I don't want to feel like I'm ripping off your.
Maybe if you could do it cheaper, Eloy, I will give you the picture. I will give you that same picture and less money than I would have given Keith to give it a shot.
Wow.
I am thinking about doing prints, but they wouldn't be custom work, obviously. But I got a laser printer, and I was like, you know what, I might as well try to have it pay for itself. I got to get some good pictures. We'll see. It's on the list of insane things that I keep.
It's a good idea. I dig it. I like art. I think we all do. I mean,
me too. It's provided me with the only way I can make money anymore, so that helps.
Bales is more into like 1980s, like Motley Crue gear and music and stuff like that, but he's got his own vibe to himself. Ain't that so?
It is so.
Yep.
Yeah, Bales just came back from Madagascar.
Oh, Eloy, tell me more about Bales.
That's not true.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
No, the movie Madagascar. Sure. It's on a second run theater down the street.
Oh, nice. With the penguins. I enjoy the penguins.
He only wore a trench coat though. It was weird.
Yeah. What?
He really enjoys the penguins.
As long as you keep it closed.
Did you hear about Bales' latest trip? Well, first trip out to where was it?
Dude, we only talked about it for the past 30 episodes.
He just wanted to get you talking.
So obviously, no, I haven't heard about it.
No, because he's too busy.
No, I'm always amazed. I'm always amazed and just befuddled with the sort of not understanding that even though you have heard something a million and actually physically went there, took pictures and movies and everything, but it's like hearing the story again, the repetition of a thing could sound to you like a boring, exercise, but in actuality, that's what storytelling and passing, and the different variations when people talk about it, there's a new person here and all that. That's how things roll, dude. We can't have a freaking beautiful, brand new conversation every time.
I was hoping.
That would be asking too much, I think.
I just like it to happen every once in a while.
I mean,
and you guys are weekly, right? That's rough.
Yeah, we do a good job of putting out the same content weekly.
Yeah, we're like AC/DC of podcasts.
Yeah, that's fine, man. It's like Coca-Cola. It's consistency.
Yeah. We're like the Rolling Stones. Just point us at the crowd. We'll play Brown Sugar. No problem.
Well, that's all that anything and everything is. When you put on the radio and listen to the radio, sure, it's annoying to hear that all stations across the country play the same damn thing, the same routine. But people listen to talk shows, all these things. You're always going to see the same character people, and they have their same sort of vibe and attitudes. But people keep coming back. That's all there is. You go see Motley Crue, Bales. You're not going to go there to see Aerosmith. You're there to see. It's just That's what people do. They're here to hear your stuff. So talk about frickin' Egypt till the frickin'
Bales, kickstart his heart, will you?
You went to Egypt?
Yeah, he did. You see, Bales.
That's the one with the big triangles, right?
I think
Yep.
so.
Yep.
Big 3-dimensional triangles.
3, 4, 5 triangles.
I'm always shocked about that though, Keith. That the whole so maybe I shouldn't talk about that. Just freaking talk about it. Just talk about it. It's like screw it. There's no reason. Just beat it to death. So Bales goes over there because he had an epiphany about life, the universe, and everything, and he wanted to have an adventure because the origins of mankind and this and this and that. And maybe there's extraterrestrial connections and who built these structures and all that, all that stuff. So
also, he needed some good Instagram content.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he did. He actually did get. But I found it freaking awesome that he did that. I was worried for him because he might not come back, and then we have to go searching for a new member. But he made it back. So
well, you can just have Doc message people at the last minute. That seems to work.
Yeah, well,
Sure
hey, it worked out right now. Don't be talking shit. You've got to do the walk of shame away from this podcast.
These are things I agree to when I've sweated out every ounce of brain power in it.
Yeah, you came right back. I was like, oh, son of a bitch, look at that.
Well, hook the fish.
Hey, every once in a while, one just jumps into the boat.
Yeah.
You get delirious every once in a while.
What happened? Jumped in the boat, smacked him with the oar. I don't know.
I'm very agreeable when I'm dehydrated.
I'll keep that in mind.
So you like triangles too? Huh?
Hey.
So
staying at your house during Maker Faire? Oh, here.
Well, that's not a thing anymore.
No.
Yeah, that went away, didn't it?
Camp Decent.
Yeah. Or they're doing, I don't know, they're doing something else now. They're called Make Community now.
Yeah.
And I guess it's just the website and the magazine. I don't know. And it's just a place for them to ask for donations now.
So no more gatherings? So no camping out in your yard?
No idea, but let's be honest. Maker Faire is really cool if you're into everything that's at Maker Faire. But if you're only into 2 things that are at Maker Faire, it's just an excuse to.
That's what I'm saying. We could have went anywhere.
I mean, everyone has already done a good enough job having other things that we can all go to.
Right.
I just want more of it to happen in New York, so I don't have to go places.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Speaking of that, are you going to the huge slip and slide party?
I am going to the huge slip and slide party.
Damn it!
Because Jeff is dropping off my my cabinets for the van. Jeff Shaw, he magnanimously offered to help me out with, some of the work. And I was like, "Oh, can you build these boxes?" And he's like, "Yeah, you don't want anything more complicated." I'm like, "No, just boxes. I just need lots of boxes." So it's good. He's going to build those for me and bring them by. Saves me about a week's worth of work, and I get to go to the slip and slide party.
Yes.
And I get to write it off as a business expense.
Also, yes. I will be arriving with my one-eyed chauffeur.
Is that your penis?
No, that's Julian.
Oh.
My wife saw a picture, I had put my Facebook down, and it was his big stupid face on my phone, and she's like, "Is that the cat that drives you?" I was like, "Yeah." "What's wrong with his eye?" I was like, "I don't know. Got something in it or whatever." She's like, "Don't you want the guy driving you to have 2 eyes?" I was like, "No, I don't really care if someone's willing to drive. I'm just happy for them."
What's wrong with his eye?
It can see the future.
Yeah, he got hit. He got hit in it. I think he got something in it, and then he had to get it removed.
What removed?
Eyeball material.
Oh, that was recently, right?
Yeah, the dickhead was lighting off fireworks without safety glasses.
Oh, jeez.
Here's one of those hot takes that people love in the month of July. Fireworks are stupid. Sorry if I'm not supposed to curse. I always forget.
You could curse. We'll edit it out.
Good Lord, fireworks are so dumb. I mean, it's fun to blow stuff up, I guess, but you can destroy things in much slower and much more physically satisfying ways.
I don't really get it either.
You're blowing something up and probably hurting or killing yourself.
You guys sound like frickin' old timers.
No.
Analysis.
I would like to extend on that. I don't mind like a fireworks display. Like
if it's a professional,
town,
lighting off,
the
like,
town is it. We're all here in a field. That's awesome.
That's cool. Yeah, like there's people.
I'm talking about people running
is.
through the street throwing bottle rockets at the ground. It's like, what is going on right now?
I'm gonna have to agree with you guys on that.
To me, it's like if someone decides like during a jazz fest in a city to like walk up and down the street blowing the trumpet for the first time ever and like thinks it's the coolest shit ever. It's like, you're terrible. There are professionals that do that, and we came here for that today, not for your dumb noise making. Anyway,
I just wanted a snow cone, man. I just came here for a snow cone.
The best is when they let it off during the main fireworks show, but like 6 blocks in the other direction. You're like, what was the point of that?
Yeah.
It's like now playing on the D stage,
I think it's just to keep kids' attention span. It's like, I'm going inside. No, I got more fireworks. Or stay outside.
They were fun when we were kids.
Yeah, because lots of dumb stuff is fun when you're kids.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But I have to agree with you. I don't want to hear, the stupid neighbors messing around with fireworks. Plus, my dog freaks out.
It's like only good for you. It's just like okay, cool. I'm glad you had fun lighting off that 8 minutes of stuff you had to smuggle in from Virginia, but
So check this out, man. So Bryan Bales goes to Egypt, and he already he knew already certain little things that he wanted to see, and he goes, right face to face with these carved out, megalithic chunks of rock, granite, etc., and they show saw marks, precision sort of saw marks, and boring out, and all sorts of machining, let's say, and which doesn't make sense at all to us with missing information and all. What do you think about origins, civilizations? Just your take on that. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Oh, I think that now we have the machines that do the work of 900 men, and back then they just had 900 men that did whatever they were told for various reasons. It ain't hard to push a giant saw around when you got half a civilization, trapped and dedicated to pushing a saw around.
And how about the materials that they used to do that? Because they, according to official science, what was it that they're using? Copper and what else? Bale?
Yeah. The Egyptologists say copper.
And that's a bunch of malarkey.
I think it's the comedian Louis C.K. who said that there's no end to what you can get done if you don't give a shit about the people that are doing it.
That's what I'm saying a little bit. Like, yeah, no, it would, if I had to like break a rock in half with a copper axe, I'd be like, this is really, really stupid. After like 2 swings, I'd be like, I'm not doing this. But if it was me and everybody I've ever known and like a bunch of guys standing over us who were going to kill us if we didn't do it, I'd probably take at least 5 more swings.
Well,
I'm not saying I would have been a good indentured servant, but
So it's safe to say you don't believe that people from the planet Uranus came down and built these things, then took off on another interstellar voyage, and before they left, they took monkeys and they injected them with DNA strands that created humans. So you're saying that that's out of the picture?
I mean, that story only makes sense if you look at it in terms of they built a cell phone tower and then forgot about it, basically, is what they did here. I don't know. Maybe. It's possible, I guess. I
don't believe that.
In the way that anything's possible. But much more likely is that whatever records were kept are gone, because when you overturn a civilization, or civilization dies after having been huge mega dicks for like thousands of years, that everyone's kind of like, you know what? Screw those guys. Let's just like burn down and destroy everything that they did. Because, screw them, and just like forget that it ever happened. And then 2 generations later are like, oh, I wonder how those things got there. And, Grandpa's like, I freaking dragged it there.
Yeah, we have generations of missing, or century or millennias of missing information.
Oh yeah, well no one even knows what happened after the Bronze Age. Somehow after the Bronze Age, the entire world civilization that was all connected with trade and travel and all this crazy stuff. There was a world economy and global trade routes, and then it all just disappeared and no one has any idea. what happened. And it's basically because everyone just stopped learning how to read because everywhere that they could learn how to read, something happened to. And they were like, well, there's nothing to pass down anymore. So maybe aliens did it.
Does that sort of match up with what you think there, Bales?
Somewhat. I mean, yeah, we burned the Alexandria Library after we took all the contents to the Vatican.
Yep, which the Pope. I was just gonna say which the Pope has Xerox copies of.
I also think they grossly overestimate how much records were kept because we're obsessed with record keeping. But like, if only a certain amount of your society can read and write, and it's a really all day job just to write a page of something because you're weirdly nitpicky about how clear the handwriting is.
Oh yeah.
Then you're not going to be getting a lot lot of record keeping done. You're not keeping track of like
you guys don't understand Italian people.
They didn't have to tell it.
My grandparents saved every piece of paper. Every piece of paper. What's that? That's a gum wrapper from when I was a little girl.
Yeah, how many did they have?
Okay,
like 12 boxes full. If you saved every piece of paper that you've ever come across in your life, you'd have 7 houses full of it.
No, but I'm saying like that. I'm obviously exaggerating. But
I'm just saying they didn't have as much paper and they didn't have as much writing back then. And stuff like Alexandria, where everyone loves to imagine it as this massive library that contained all the world's knowledge, was probably more like a parking garage that had a few floors worth of scrolls on it, and maybe did or didn't get all the way blown up.
Damn, dude, what a way to frickin' like belittle the ancient frickin' library that contained like frickin' lots of stuff that we don't know about.
Well, there's lots of history and studies and research that show that the library might not have even been severely burned that badly, that it was not actually as central. Like, everything wasn't in there as much as people like to think due to the mythology that ended up surrounding it.
It's almost like there was a bunch of inconvenient facts in there, and it was like, well, yeah, sorry, burn up. By the way,
it's also it's easier to just be like, oh, I don't know, I must have burned in all that stuff. Like,
I can't find my homework. As a matter of fact, I did it.
All of our tax records just seem to have been missing. It's not that it didn't pay any of them or to keep any records for 800 years. It just might have burned up in that big library fire. You didn't hear about that?
Yeah, all these guns were registered to my name, but there was a fire, and now I don't.
It's not like there was newspapers, It's just kind of like one guy had to write it down as he heard it from 7 other guys.
So, oral traditions.
Yeah, oral traditions. And as we know from the insurance industry, people like to overinflate the value of something that had just burned down. It's like, you should have been here last week. It was so much bigger there. All the knowledge in the world was in there, and these jerks burned it down.
Yeah, I could see that scenario. They blow it up and just handed down the story, and it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until
and like when you're telling a story that your great uncle told, is like, you want to hear how big of dicks the Romans were? Man, they burned all the knowledge in the world. It's like, did they? They might have. Who knows? But there might not have been that much in there. So,
frickin' Romans.
There was knowledge.
I'm sure stuff was lost, and I'm sure there was knowledge. It's just like, Also, I don't know, science advances and stuff, but it's like, man, I can only imagine some of the false bullshit that was lost too.
Oh, well, that's true too, because
it's like this guy wrote 12 volumes on how 2 + 2 = 7. Like, all right. Well,
yeah. So,
wouldn't it be? Oh, sorry, Eloy. Let me cut you off. Wouldn't it be funny if it was like the flat Earth people of 2,000 years ago? It was like, and these idiots.
By the way, we still knew that the Earth was round even back then.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's what they burned all the text from the former flat Earth people.
Yeah, it's like,
you know what? Burn this shit. All this
it's like if YouTube crashed and everyone was like, we're okay with it.
Yeah, Instagram shuts down and everyone loses their job as a model.
Mm-hmm. And all the models like, all the best information in the world is gone.
The Earth isn't flat?
Not lately.
Okay. Yeah, I learn something new every day, guys.
It was probably pretty one-dimensional at some point, but not anymore.
So, so what else is new with you, dude? I see guitar back there. Do you rock out? Do you?
Oh, that thing? No, it doesn't play very well. I built it. The video's doing great. But I decided to build a guitar out of junk that was lying around in my shop, and I did. And it played. And it played for like 10, 15 minutes, and then it gets detuned and the neck warped a little bit. And I'm just, excuse me, I'll make the next one better.
Did you add a neck to it, or did you do the neck?
I did the neck myself. I did everything on it, except for the tuners, because I tried to make tuners before and it's not worth it. And the volume knob and the potentiometers and stuff I didn't do, obviously.
And so does it doesn't stay in tune way too
it doesn't stay in tune too long. The intonation's off. I didn't build a proper bridge for it. There's no truss rod.
That's perfect. That's how I would have built it.
Yeah, it's just like a toy guitar, basically. But it's an electric guitar and it makes sounds. It was inspired by like the guys in the 30s and who made their own guitars out of garbage and they played it the best they could and it sounded as good as it did.
Yeah.
And I like the way it sounds, but it's not, not going to be like played live or anything like that. So, but I'm already working on the design for the next one.
So Bales is a total rock and roller. You know that, right?
Oh yeah. Actually, I have plans to build a drum set at some point.
No, you can't do that.
A whole drum set? Why not?
No.
It'll sound like shit. Give them all the bad comments.
Yeah. That thing sounds like shit. Oh, you don't know what you're doing. Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I don't know what I'm doing, and it probably will sound like shit, but it'll be a drum set. But I'll also have done something that none of those little chumps have ever done. So,
Bales, I got an idea. Bring back Grumpy and Dumpy, and Grumpy and Dumpy read your bad comments.
Oh.
I get comments still.
I think that'd be hilarious.
I get comments every day in a guitar video about they're like, oh, that sounds like crap. I'm like, of course it does. I made it out of garbage in 3 days. Like, I had no idea what I was doing.
They're missing the point of the whole.
Yeah, the point is that it worked. It's like I went from no plan and a pile of junk to an electric guitar in 3 days, and it actually worked. And I built the pickups myself, like out of trash.
Really?
Yeah, the pickups are built out of those wall wart plugs, that have the copper coil inside. A bunch of screws and rulers, like folding rulers.
Oh, wow. Did I see that video? Is that
it's like a year and a half old, I think, at this point.
I might have seen it. I can't.
It's the only reason I'm making any money on YouTube right now is that one video just keeps... Every time somebody, there's this guy, Burl's Art, he did the colored pencil epoxy guitar video.
Yep, sorry.
And I was super happy that video did well for him because now he only does epoxy guitar videos.
Apparently, someone's not too busy to watch his channel, Eloy.
Wow.
And other people are starting to do his version of let's make guitars out of weird stuff. So my video just keeps going through the recommendation engine over and over again.
That's
so every time one of them releases a video, I make $20 to $40 just off of that. So
that dude did which I found interesting. He bought some styrofoam and he made a styrofoam, the lightest guitar ever made.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, so he's got something cool going on. Freaking awesome channel, actually. And then he plays at the end.
Mm-hmm. And you can tell when you're watching him, he doesn't have a full-on luthier setup or anything like that. He's more like me. He's just like, can I do this? Yeah, mostly I could. And I sort of did. And then he learns his lesson, he moves on and does the next thing.
Yeah, and that's a lot of epoxy to make those.
That's a lot of epoxy. That's expensive.
That is very expensive.
But he's also got millions of views, so I'm sure he's got enough paid for.
Well, I don't know, man. I think it depends but isn't it like $1,000 per? There's an average, not that it's perfect, but it's like $1,000 per.
Well, I mean, not per million. You get a little more than 1,000 for a million. Lifetime, my guitar video is done a little over 1,000, and it's creeping up on 500,000 views. So,
holy smokes, that is doing good.
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, it's over a year and a half. Yeah, it's pretty good.
See, I don't understand because I put up, just in comparison in what's ridiculous, right? So this is a cool thing. You're building a guitar out of nothing. Let's go crazy with just random stuff and put it together. I did a video of, let's say, all my DeWalt tools, and it was like saying this is this and this is that. Really boring, but I said I just want to show it. And that video, I put it up just for the hell of it. And the other ones I worked real hard on, and that one is my best frickin' video. And there's no inspiration whatsoever. There's no extra effort, and it's frickin' sitting at 500,000 views.
Yeah, it's lowest common denominator, man. Everyone wants to hear about tools, who uses tools, and there you go. I make as much original, crazy, fun stuff as I can, and I am perfectly fine with the fact that I'm basically going to be the band that your favorite band likes that you've never heard of until it's too late.
Yeah.
I think, Bales, we had that conversation at, what place was that we were at? I forget. Doesn't matter. But yeah, like when your favorite band gets inducted into the Hall of Fame and they list their influences and there's a band you've never heard of.
The Shags.
I'm pretty much just going to be that band. So
Shags.
The Shags.
You guys never heard the Shags?
Yeah. Maybe we could be that podcast, guys. We should step up.
Just do just do you, and like who's there is there. You know, at the end of it all, people will talk about it if it's worth talking about.
Yeah, the best part about being a podcast instead of a band is we don't have to look at 5 people. We can pretend there's more out there while we're recording.
There you go.
There actually is. There's more out there. We're just not connecting with them, but they're actually out there. Actually, we're doing pretty good considering that we're a hot mess, but we're doing pretty good because we were picked up by Spreaker. Here's another story I can't tell because, Doc is going to start looking like cross-eyed and then frickin' Bales and the whole thing.
Bales,
forget it. Forget it. Keith, forget it. I'm not going to tell you the story, although
Bales attack Bales.
We don't need the history to scratch. 1,000 years from now, we're going to be like, who made these pyramids and who made this epoxy winged bee?
Every time somebody makes a bee, Eloy gets pushed to the top of the bee pile again.
There you go. Hey, man. King of Bee Mountain. It's not a bad place to...
Hey, Eloy, I have a question. I thought I overheard this the other day. Are iguanas shoot to kill in Florida now?
Iguanas are considered a nuisance creature. And yet...
So stand your ground laws apply, obviously.
Yeah, you can't if a cop sees you and they don't like what you're doing, and typically they're not going to like what you're doing if you're trying to kill somebody or somebody is for sure. But
wow, little slip there, pal.
Sorry, oops, Freudian slip. The cops really don't like it when you're in the back alley and you're stabbing a guy.
That didn't have anything. Oh, maybe it did have something to do with sex. Carry on,
great.
Freud.
Listen to where he's taking this back alley.
You said you were in an alley stabbing a guy.
Okay, when I think of alleys, I don't associate freaking sex with the alley, and yet you are
stabbing a guy.
Okay, stabbing. Oh, it's not the alley; it's the stabbing a guy. Yeah. So when I think of stabbing a guy, I don't think of what you're thinking of, dude. I think of like a knife and the puncturing.
See, Keith, this is why I invited you to come on board because I knew if I didn't have a guest, this was going to be the whole show.
No. But wait a second. Hold on. Let's put this right on the table. I want to be clear. When
you're putting the guy on the table, getting kinky. Jesus.
So this is the problem.
Known before you stab a guy in his back alley.
Well, this is my question. When you hear the word or the saying, stabbing a guy, right, Keith? Do you think, oh, la la, or do you think, whoa?
I think all sorts of stuff. It depends on if he's making the face that you were just making, definitely sex. But normally I would think murder.
Well, I think that you know what? I think
is this just another true. Are we just another true crime podcast now? Is that what's going on?
Yep. I don't know what's going on, but all I know is that you and Bales are two sick puppies.
Oh yeah, that's obvious.
Yeah, it's hilarious, by the way.
How did we get in the alleyway and start this orgy? Anyhow,
you're the one that walked down the alley.
Mm-mm.
You're like, this is what I want to talk about. I think they made iguanas shoot to kill.
Yeah. So iguanas, I stopped a couple of guys because they were grabbing a bunch of iguanas, putting them in the back of their truck here, and they just came from somewhere out of town, and they're filling up their truck with iguanas. And I got pissed, man. So I went right there and said, "Hey, take all those iguanas and set them."
Right, but this is where we need Rory to look it up for real. But I think the laws changed because they were like tunneling under buildings and like shit was starting to collapse.
Florida's sinking because the iguanas are tunneling.
I am now going to look it up.
Yeah, even if it's written.
Even if it's written, believe me, anyway.
It's true. So it's like even if it's written, it's not true.
So it's open season like prairie dogs in the Midwest.
Prairie dogs are shit to kill in the Midwest.
Yeah, there's a state where there's some open.
Do we just have to give like people in the South and the Midwest lists of things they can shoot?
Oh, this is
everywhere, just so we have like less murders.
Guys, this is the best headline ever. USA Today, 11 minutes ago. This is not the Wild West. Florida officials clarify stance on green iguanas, urging safety.
Yeah, well, it's Florida.
So you can or can't shoot them.
I don't know. That was a video. I have to find something I can read while on air.
Well, you guys figure that out, and I'll still know the answer to that.
What's the answer? You can or cannot shoot them.
If you're out in the wild, you can pretty much, they're not a protected species, so that's the answer. But you can't be freaking swinging an axe across town in an alley chasing iguanas, chasing tails.
Oh no! I'm sure you have to hunt them legally.
You have to get tags like gators.
Are there like iguanas out in the woods that you go hunting for? Or is it like hunting in like your neighbor's?
No, you gotta lure them into an alley with a cricket.
No. I don't think
behind the Home Depot.
You have to appreciate the. You've been to Florida before, yeah?
Not on purpose.
Oh, so you have been?
Yeah.
Have you been to South Florida?
Zing.
Yeah, I've been through parts of South Florida when I was going to a nice part.
Been to
That
the
is
tip of the dick.
Double zing.
Where was the nice part? Where was the nice part that you were going to?
Oh, Marco Island, I think it was called. My cousin got married.
That place is a dump. But anyway,
yeah, well,
So anywhere in South
I was
Florida,
being pirated. I was saying nice in terms of
No. There's way crappier places, but that place is pretty dumpy. But anywhere in South Florida, you'll have iguanas not only in our wild, sort of like outdoor, but in our neighborhoods, in our backyards. They're just about everywhere. So it's nature kind of overtakes down here. It's the temperature is quite, right for that sort of thing. I mean, I don't know about where you live or Doc or Bales, but we have wildlife all over the place.
We don't. Why do you call them iguanas?
I don't know. I have no idea. I think they're South American. I don't think that they're necessarily meant to be invasive.
Isn't it iguana?
Iguana. May I read? The Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission is taking a slightly softer stance on the Sunshine State's invasive green iguana problem.
Ooh, invasive.
The FWC, which encouraged residents to, quotations, to kill green iguanas on their property whenever possible, quote, in a directive released at the start of the month, provided additional information Thursday. Unfortunately, the message has been conveyed that we are asking people to in public to just go out and shoot them up.
Oh, Jesus.
Florida Commissioner Ronnie Barreto said in a statement, "This is not what we are about. This is not the Wild West. If you are not capable of safely removing iguanas from your property, please seek assistance from professionals who do this for a living."
I like to picture him saying that while somebody's like lighting a stick of dynamite and chasing an iguana behind him.
Yeah.
Dude, this could be a new career for Eloy. He could be the iguana hunter.
No, I don't think
Iguana man.
I don't think so, because I like iguanas, and at the same time, they bother people that have big yard. Well, they're here. I have them here. But if you have fruit trees and such, then they'll eat they'll eat all the stuff there. So people don't like that, and they'll kill them. But people are assholes.
So you're declaring that your homestead is now an iguana sanctuary.
I didn't say that.
You just said
Iguana safe zone.
Eloy's fruit trees are open for business.
Yeah, well, I don't have any. See, that's the whole thing. But yes, I would probably be pissed. I probably would be pissed if they were eating my fruits.
There's easily a tree that just doesn't have any fruit on it, but is supposed to, that you just didn't know was, for a lime tree or something.
I would imagine the fruit would be low hanging.
Oh no!
So, my house, we accepted an offer on it.
Nice.
Yep. So, on to either another house, or I'm going to move back into the possibility, Keith, that I may have to move back into my parents' house.
Oh God.
With my 2 kids and my wife until we find a house, because we're trying to stay, in our school district.
Oh yeah.
And it just seems like 3-bedroom, 2 baths, or 3 or 4 threes. Just everybody decided at one time, like, we have to get this done before school starts. So like we're kind of like, well, maybe
Yeah,
we should.
it's like
Everyone's made up their minds. Like all of a sudden, oh, that one's under contract. That one's under contract. It's like, oh shit.
It's like when you're 20 and you have to find an apartment before September 1st because everyone goes back to school and they're like, oh, they're all mine.
Yeah, sorry.
Well, that's good news, dude.
But sold it. So there's that.
Just find a place, shack up, and keep going.
You could always live in a van or a couple of vans.
Ooh.
If you park them close enough together.
My kids would probably dig that.
For a little while, but it's got to get old fast.
I think for the right person.
Oh yeah, you have to be a very free spirit. I would say.
I think I'd like to. I think I'd like to have a setup like that and like do it like a week at a time.
Yeah, the whole homeschooling thing was never very appealing to me in that lifestyle.
Yeah, no, nothing like that. I'm saying just me personally by myself, or like me and Mrs. Doc when the boys are older. I wouldn't mind like the van situation and do a little traveling, but I wouldn't want to stay out on the road for.
The older I get, the less I like being driving for any more than like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah, I don't want to drive, and I don't want to shovel, and I don't want to be cold. These are my slow list of growing old man shit I'm not dealing with.
Yeah, you live in Pennsylvania.
What'd you say?
You live in Pennsylvania where it's cold and you have to shovel.
I know, but I'm saying I am not going to be here as an old man.
Those are the only three things to do in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
And
there's drinking for sure. No.
That's called living in Pennsylvania. That goes with the territory.
Yeah.
Whipping batteries at people. That's one.
That's another one people like to do. I see in the paper that meth is very popular.
Wow.
Yeah.
Meth.
Yeah, meth and heroin are big around.
He did not say meth. He said meth.
Meth.
That's not as popular.
Not meth brand meth.
That's a sad, thing.
It's true, but like you said, there ain't shit to do here.
I mean, you got the internet. I mean, frickin', do some, I don't know, frickin'
look at stuff on the internet when you're high on meth. That's what they do. They look at the internet while they're high on meth.
No amount of drugs.
They just stare out a window and don't know the difference.
Yeah, no amount of drugs is gonna frickin' hide the horrible, crappy life that people have. I mean, it might a little bit, but
you'd be surprised. I mean, it makes it worse, but you don't care.
Yeah, it's better to just say it's all crap. Deal with it sober. What say you?
I'll take meth.
Meth?
Yeah, it's asking a lot for.
Okay, well, we voted.
I'm going to courteously abstain from the vote. I've never had the meth, and I don't feel like I should go into these things blind.
Are you making a run for office soon? What's your problem?
That's what I was thinking.
I'm just saying I wouldn't make an educated decision, and the fact that no,
sirs,
that I have done the meth.
All the 4-bedroom houses are taken, so he's just going to run.
I was listening. You know what it was? I was listening to those Mueller tapes today, and I think I got some lawyer speak going on. I apologize. May or may not have possibly.
I can't speak to that.
I can't. At this time, I've been advised that it's not a question for me.
I just want to start answering questions with, is that what it says in the report?
Is that what it says? Yeah, that's a good one. I thought that was like these people, like I know this that the VCR reference is old, but these are the people that could not program their VCRs. Like how old they got, like to steal a Joe. Like there's younger faces on Cash. Could get like somebody spry looking on their game. I want somebody that looks like they walked out of a movie. I know we should go on credentials, but I like optics too.
Yep. So what's new with you, Bales? Tell us something that we haven't heard before. I dare you.
Still working on my bathroom. Working on my bathroom.
Good.
Doing the joint compound. It's good times. Paying down my debt like an animal because it really turns me on for some reason to pay down debt.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a good kink to have.
Yeah. I get really kinky.
So
I've been overpaying my mortgage by $350 a month, and then I slammed down $10,000 on the principal last month.
I was about to say, make sure you pay it to the principal.
Oh yeah.
Rule number one.
So that's something.
Well, that is something. That's a lot of something.
Oh, and then I was talking to my father the other day, and he's like, "So, are you going to come down to Tennessee this year, or?" Actually, I don't talk to my father directly because he's an asshole, but I talked to my mother, and she was saying that my father was asking if I was going to come down this year or if I'm going to stay home because of Egypt. Did it drain my pocketbook? And apparently, he's already has a honey-do list together for me.
Oh, that's cool, dude.
No, it's not cool.
That is so awesome.
He doesn't pay me. I pay to get there, and I work for free.
That's a beautiful thing.
Bales, I'm about to move back in with my parents.
Do that.
Yeah, dude, I'm about to. You want to talk? You want to talk about honeydews?
There is one point where I was actually going over the layout of my parents' large basement in my head to see how I could build it into a 3-bedroom apartment with a workshop attached.
Oh, Jesus.
It happens, man. Sometimes,
Yeah, no, it's.
I've never earned what you call a stable living.
You have a house, though, right?
Yeah, barely.
Oh.
I'm actually building a house next door to this house that I have to move into because I can't afford this house anymore.
Oh.
Taxes in my city are going they're going through the roof. It's crazy.
Really?
Damn.
Yes, yeah, it's a super exciting podcast talk. But yeah, there's a big building boom going on. It's very popular in Hudson Valley. We're close enough to the city for commuters, so it's kind of insane.
Okay, so you're the next bubble.
Yeah. We're so far beyond we should have popped already. Yeah, it's right. Pretty crazy.
So it's cheaper for you to build a new house than it is to pay the taxes on your current
house.
house.
I have a side lot, so I'm building a house, but it's going to have an efficiency apartment in it that I can rent out to pay the taxes, and it's also going to have 2 art studios that I can rent out because I'm in a historic district, so I can kind of finagle my way into having a business that's part of the house. And
yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, and I'm not building it either. People are like, "Oh, so you're going to build it yourself?" I'm like, "No, I'm not stupid."
Generally speaking, how much are taxes? Like just rough sort of medium.
As a rough thing, taxes are a little bit less than what I was paying per month in rent in New York City. So
give us a number.
Oh, you want a number?
Yeah,
sub $10,000, but not by much, not for long. A year.
10,000 a year? Holy shit!
I'm not kidding. New York State's rough for taxes, but we got a lot of good stuff. So
that's quite the aggressive, pinch. Wow.
Eloy's taxes are like $100 and 2 iguana hides.
The bounty on iguana hides keeps your house.
I would not say that. Mine's aren't that far off from yours, actually, in Miami. Just so that you know.
Really?
It's bad.
10 grand?
No, I said it's not far. If I say it's not far, I'm not saying above his. I'm saying it's below his, but it's past.
He's saying 7.
It's still a lot. It's a lot of money, especially when you own the house. You're talking maintenance. You're talking utilities. Shit gets crazy, man.
Well, it's funny because it gets to the point where
I had a running toilet cost me $300 a couple months ago. I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
Well, no. What I was gonna say is that it gets to the idea has always been that you own a house and then it's because it becomes cheaper after it's all paid for. But what it is it's more like nowadays, depending on I guess where you live, it's more like it's better off just almost to rent because you're paying the same damn thing.
At the end of the day, I've got to if I wait and sell at the right time, I will make a little bit of money and enough to be comfortable in the next house, and so that helps. You got to be willing to move away from a popular place is what it comes down to.
Are they building for real or what?
In my city, yeah, they're building luxury condo apartment buildings all over the place in the city.
Dude, it's very popular to max out on cash and then move right next to me and then try to sell me on how smart you are because you just happened to live in a place that exploded and you sold your house.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I figured I would sell. Oh, did you come up with that all on your own there?
Yeah, you and literally everyone else who had to come here and start their bohemian yoga farm.
Yeah, they're all over now.
Oh, yeah. I know. That's all my friends doing it. Friends, neighbors, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, I got you. Every that's the new strip mall thing is the.
Yeah. Well, here it's not. Everyone's going up to the Catskills now. It was the lower Hudson Valley, which is where I'm at. And because it's New York City, and then there's Westchester County, just one north of that, Then there's the Lower Hudson Valley, which is Putnam and Dutchess County, which is where I am. I'm kind of at the epicenter of that. And there's and up above that, you get into like the Catskills and that kind of stuff, where all the old where like Dirty Dancing happened, like that kind of stuff. Like the Marvelous Miss Maisel takes place up there a little bit
in the back alleys.
Yeah. Well, up in the mountains. So, but that's becoming, everyone's buying old motels and fixing them up and turning them into bars and boutique, I don't know, things.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Well, let them drop the money in your lap, and it better be a good one.
I just have to pick who my neighbors are going to be, I guess, for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
They're turning all the old resorts around me. Like Poconos has tons of old resorts.
Yeah, Poconos is like the Catskills a lot. Like it's
they're turning them all into rehabs.
Oh, well, that's not exactly like the Catskills.
Yeah, they're all like these like really expensive, really nice rehab facilities.
Oh, there you go.
And
It's
camps,
summer
camps for kids.
That's cool.
Like
that's
really, really high dollar summer camps for city kids.
That's way better than like a boutique resort where the difference between it and the other boutique resorts is that it gives you free donuts in the morning or something.
Yeah, no. And the camps were some crooked numbers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So when I was like, well, what's a camper pay for the summer here? And the guy did not bat an eyelash. He's like 50 G's. I was like, what was that?
Well, that's like, oh my God.
Because these places were so overbuilt. They were putting these cabins in the woods, and I was like, wow, this is really.
God.
And I kind of made the comment. I was like, wow, what do you pay to stay here for the summer?
That was like a year of college for me, and I didn't go to cheap school either.
Yeah, this is for like a month and a half.
Well, I can only imagine what their kids are like. They're probably the no price is too high to get rid of them for a summer type.
Yeah, they're probably a good time.
Yeah.
Freaking city kids with their asthma.
Well, it's good because they're going to have great memories of that place, and then when they get priced out of their city, they'll just move back to where you are and talk to you about how smart they are.
That's actually not where I'm at. I live south of that. I live where people are afraid to go.
Oh, good.
Really?
No, I live in a little pocket where I don't have an exit off of the highway in either direction, really. So it's not really close to things. So when people are buying houses, it's like tucked in.
And what's up with all the frickin' rehabs, though?
There's just these old resorts, and I guess that's that's what we make in America now. We don't make consumer goods. We just make
make people who are
we make fat kids and meth heads, man. That's what we do.
Wow. Well,
so
it is what it is.
I mean, nice resorts.
To be fair, we also make the things that make them fat and addicted to whatever. So
that's part of the making. No, we make that. I'm saying that those things are byproducts of what we make. Yeah,
it's a machine. Bales, what the heck, man? You look despondent. You look distant.
That's a sheetrock face.
I lose steam after 10 o'clock.
Oh, well, how?
I'm old, dude.
Well, so am I.
It's true. We're both old.
That's right. We're equally old.
Plus, he was just drywalling before real hard, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need some sleep.
Makes him sleepy.
Drywalling.
Well, I think that, how long have we been going on? I think this is a good place to stop.
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Oh, Eloy, there have been so many good places to stop.